Welcome back to the artist always known as Alejandro. I'm doing something a little different. I found a book that I thought was lost to time. How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. Yeah. This is one of those books that comic book artists reference and use a lot. From 1978. It kind of gave away their little tips and tricks on how to draw comic book characters. Little methods and tricks they use. Techniques. Now, I'm going to read along and I'm going to work on a female head. This is the section of the book. It's like page 96, 97. They suggest starting with a profile first. And I'm going to try and go through it line by line and follow them in the digital realm. See how well this translates here. So they're saying start off, draw the head within an imaginary square, locating the eye line halfway down the face. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the square on its own layer. So let's draw this square. I'm going for this size. I think this is where I am most comfortable. Let's see. Okay. So he says, draw the head within an imaginary square, locating the eye line halfway down the face. So, looking at the Mighty Marvel book, just erase some of this so it's not too... Alright, let's stick with this. So they have your drawing. I said this is so weird. Drawing this way, I think there is a little bit of a circle here. They are coming. It actually kind of comes more this way, right? Yeah, they're having this thing where you're creating a little bit of a wall. I may not go all the way to the bottom of the square, but they have this part where her chin will end up. And then they come, what do they really don't, that's all they say, draw the head within an imaginary square, locating the eye line halfway down the face. Very helpful, guys. But let me just see if I can figure this out. So we have the back of the head, and somewhere here, that looks like a quarter of the way from the back of the skull, they have the jawline. They have the ear right at the base here. Just they're doing this half circle thing, okay? And then the jawline comes down here. Oh, that looks like I'm filling the square. Okay, not too bad. And so, according to this, I'm going to put this on another line, the other layer. The eye line kind of clips through the middle of the ear. Alright. So next they say place eyes and nose. Notice how the nose tilts out and up from the skull and is rather short. Okay. Using a soft curved line, place the cheek from the ear to the front of the skull. So, let's start with that nose. So we have our little eye line here. And the way they have it is kind of like right in the middle. Right in the middle, what am I saying? But a few little centimeters from this. Your eye line is going to be in the middle of this line. Now they have it not as a complete triangle, but more of a, it's kind of high here, and then it goes down here. Okay. Now their cheek line, let's do the nose as they recommended. So looking at the drawing, the nose starts here, according to them, right at the, and they have it just as this little triangle. I'm going to turn it around a little bit. Kind of work better at angles, so we're doing that. And they have just the slightest there. And then back to here. So they say, place the cheek from the ear to the front of the skull, halfway between the bottom of the nose and bottom of the chin. So we're like right in the middle here. I know they have this line here. So in the middle, you're coming at a little bit of an angle. I kind of see where they're coming. Like this will be where the mouth is, maybe. Place the mouth well forward from the skull. Note that the lower lip is fuller than the upper lip. Yes. Tend to draw my females that way. Now the way they have it, well, let's finish what they say. Well, the upper lip juts out farther forward. So, yeah, I know what they mean. And he has this line going here. Let's do this on this layer. I'll do it in the G pen. Maybe I need to be, let's see, more of an angle that way. There we go. I think that's where I'm supposed to be. Just erase it. All right, let's see. Now, according to the drawing, if you have the book too, follow along. See if we can do this in the digital realm. So the lip, it's very simple. It's just coming out here. And then we have it coming in to that. Well, I don't know if I have it right because this, the bottom of the lip, and he has, I see he has this already. Cause let me see. Yeah, this won't line up with that, so it can't go that much farther. I think we're there. And yes, I've done this too from the profile. They do this bottom lip thing. It'll kind of pass a little bit, but let's see if I bring this back more and do what they do. Okay, we have that kind of, sort of, kind of. All right. And what's the next thing they say? Place the eyebrow, but not too low. Just this thing, because the way he has the eyebrow, it looks like it's much more forward than I'm actually giving it credit for. I don't know if what I said just made any sense, because it didn't sound correct grammatically. All right, so that little bit of stuff makes it look a little better, I think. So bring the chin forward and find proper positioning of nostril by drawing a straight line from the mouth to the eye line. All right, let's just see what he's got going on here. He's got this extra line going this way. Yeah, he has those lines. The chin, he does this, and then it kind of has this little rounded. He's filling in the lips a little bit more. I know he's added just this layer. I'm going to just darken it in with the pencil. The bottom of the lip. This nostril he has. Kind of does this weird curve. And then a little bit of that. I think I might have pushed this too far back. The way he has, looks like the eye is just stopping here and coming. See? Doesn't translate that well in the digital realm. Unless I'm doing something wrong. But as always, I will find a way. Do a little rounding. Not much, though. Results may vary. I'm not John Buscema. I was Buscema, Buscema, Bokoma, Bochichu, Watutu. He was a great artist. Oh, he was really good at doing this stuff. So I say mouth and eye line. I did that. Now, notice that the forehead is always rounded and never flat. But they're just doing this in 6 steps. Alright, let's do a little more erasing, trim the fat, so to speak. Not really the fat, but the unnecessary stuff. And then what does he say? And as ever, keep the hair full and fluffy, not flat on the damsel's dome. That could vary. I mean, you could draw your female bald, mohawks, any kind of hairstyle, really. But I'm going to go with his fluffy idea. And I'm going to actually make it its own layer, so to make it easier. I think he's going for like a Sue Richards look. FF. You know, he really doesn't say anything about how far out the hair should be. I'm just going to kind of go. It was pretty low. It was like right about here. Then he has this, like the hair comes here. And then he has some of this stuff going on here. Kind of an old-fashioned do. And just below her chin we have the hair curling. Full and fluffy. And her ears are covered up. I tend to do that with mine too, cover their ears, but not all the time. Just depends. But he has it really coming up here to this kind of shape. But it kind of flattens out ish. Now, is this the actual hair? I think he might go, maybe he goes out beyond it. I'm not sure. You get rid of all your guides, I see there, Mr. Buscema. And then kind of in keeping with this, you're going to have this curve. Now, he doesn't, you can obviously do your own hair the way you want to. If you listen to music while you're drawing that, that helps you go for it. I'm not listening to anything because I have to narrate this and I don't want to play the tunes because it could be distracting and, copyrights will limit who can see this. Yeah. Yeah, he's got this kind of curvy kind of thing coming here. Another line going this way. This is when it can be a little lighter to the touch. And if you artists know, if you have tools you're using on actual paper, it's a very different feel than in the digital because your stylus won't change that much. He had a little more pressure here and there, but that's about it. And in the drawing, he didn't really add a lot to the hair. Didn't add more hair like I like to do. He had a little more at the end here. I'm going to completely hide this layer. Go back and kind of tweak some of this. This looks like she got a fat lip. You know, they don't see that. I guess it would depend on the comic, right? Females get fat lips. Duking it out with somebody. But it happens day and age. You know, back in the day, there really wasn't a lot of... kept things down to a minimum. I mean, now some of the comics, they have like crazy graphic gore. I'm like, whoa. And this is just your regular comic. I'm like, wait a second here, man. Give me a warning. I was not expecting that. I'll do some of this. Well, there it is, my little female head profile. I know, what do you think? Following the mighty Marvel method as best I could in the digital realm. Not too bad, though. So I do hope you enjoy following along with me and my sketch videos, and I will see you on the next one very soon. Until later, this is the artist Alejandro saying, keep creating.